It's time to prepare before it's too late. While everyone else is distracted, I'm stocking my pantry. Let me show you what I'm buying right now. Hey guys, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared. There are multiple fires burning around the world and across this country, both literally and figuratively. It's a good reminder of why we need to be prepared for anything at all times, because when something pops off, there's no time and there are far less resources at that point than there are people who need them. The prepared win this game every time. You don't need to panic, never panic, but you do need to plan. Slow and steady is the name of the game, adding a little each week, a little more each month, rotate and restock, repeat, repeat, repeat. Today, I'm showing you what we've added to our prepper pantry lately and why. I've got some new and exciting items, some killer clearance deals, and some things that you probably never thought of. And after I show you everything, I'm gonna try out and taste test some brand new items. So let's jump right in. I'm going to start right over here. I've got some freeze-dried food. We all want freeze-dried food in our prepper pantry. It is truly the gold standard because of its 25-year shelf life, 25 years plus, and the fact that it retains nutrients better than any other food that you can get, among other reasons, of course. But look at these cans. You're probably used to seeing freeze-dried food in number 10 cans, which are the big gallon-size cans. These are smaller quart-size cans. They're called pantry cans. We used to have a source for these until we lost it, right? And we have had so many people asking for them back, and we now have a source for these. I do usually buy my freeze-dried food in number 10 cans, but these smaller cans do have so many benefits for so many people. Some people have smaller households. They just want a smaller amount of food open at once. Although it is important to know that when you open a can of freeze-dried food, the contents are still shelf stable. And depending on the item and where you live, how you store them and all that, you usually have about a year to use them up, give or take. But smaller households, smaller budgets, people with limited storage space and all, people like that all like these small cans. They are perfect for people who are just starting out with freeze-dried food or meals in a jar, or people who are curious about freeze-dried food because they can try it out in a smaller size, decide what they like best, and then they can commit to those larger cans. And I even like to have these smaller cans on hand sometimes for like camping trips, or sometimes I'm putting together a 72-hour food kit, like a 1-week food box, maybe a preparedness gift for somebody in my family, and I just want a smaller package of food. So these are great for so many things. Now these 6 items in these size cans were brand new for February. Here's what I got. I got strawberry slices. These are delicious. My kids devour these. I got freeze-dried shredded cheddar cheese. So this is a game changer for the prepper pantry because you can finally graduate from Velveeta, cheese powder, everything we've been kind of stuck with before, and have real cheese. A freeze-dried sweet corn. That is a really good one. And then down here, I have got the absolute gold of the freeze-dried food. So these are the proteins. This is the meat. This is what everybody really, really wants to have. Every pantry is usually too light on protein. Everyone needs more protein. So I've got sausage crumbles, ground beef crumbles, and diced chicken breast. So these are all fully cooked meats in here. So they are ready to go. You just need to rehydrate them, or you can even eat them dry. The sausage and hamburger are 2 of my favorite things to eat dry. They're a really good, like high protein, low carb, shelf stable snack that you can have with you anytime. And these cans on the inside, if you open them up, you see that they have a pop top, which is another thing that some people like. The number 10 cans usually have a regular lid. So I got these 6 cans as a value pack on sale, but it pretty quickly sold out. Whenever things get uncertain in the world, we see a spike in the demand for freeze-dried food, because people start doubling down on their food security. And that's exactly what's started happening over the last month. They sold through what would normally be a 3-month supply in a matter of a couple of weeks. The good news is that there's actually 4 new products releasing in these pantry cans this month, March. And a couple of items have been restocked. So the new releases are going to be garlic, onions, those are 2 classic kitchen must-have ingredients, bananas, and green bell peppers. You can text alert to my number that I'm going to put on the screen for you, and I'll send you a text when they're available with a direct link that you can use to get the sale price, because they will be on sale. The sale bundle will include the new items and the most popular from last month that sold out the quickest, which are the cheese and the strawberries, because those should be back in stock. No guarantee for how long, but they'll be back. The bad news is that the Hamburg, the ground beef, is not going to be restocked right away. Good beef is getting harder and harder to source these days. We are actually experiencing a beef shortage right now. Our cattle herds are at the lowest levels that they've been in 70 years. So the ground beef is going to take a little bit longer to restock in the small cans. But the flip side of that is that there are still a few of the larger cans left, as of right now, at least as of when I'm recording this. So if freeze-dried ground beef is on your list, the prudent thing to do would be to grab that right off if there's any left, just in case, and then grab the new items as they become available. I will have a direct link for you to what's left, or you can go to tryfreezedried.com and you will see the button right there at the top that you can click to go right to it. So then the freeze-dried items that I have over here are complete meals ready to go. Now these are Mountain House, which is a pretty good brand. Their meals are usually pretty good. And they are 2 serving meals and everything is freeze-dried. Now they say 2 servings. If you're really, really hungry or have a big appetite, I'm sure you can eat the whole bag yourself, but smaller appetites can split them. These you just pour boiling water in, and usually 10 to 15 minutes, they're going to be ready to eat, and you can even cook them and eat them right out of the bag. They don't need to be cooked, they just need to sit. And these are super, super handy for emergencies because you can have a whole meal and all you have to do is boil water. You don't even need to have a pot to heat a can of soup or anything like that. So the ones we got right here, and I got these because these are on clearance. So it's a really, really good price. And I did check right before I filmed this, they do have some left. It's a really good price for these. And so we got rice meals. There's adobo rice and chicken. There's a couple of chicken, or 1 chicken teriyaki and a couple of the chicken fried rice, and then a freeze-dried just rice and chicken, just like a basic chicken and rice. Mr. Wicked Prepared is a big fan of rice. He really likes rice, so he wanted all these rice meals. But these are great to have on hand for emergencies, and they're also really good for obviously camping and stuff, and hiking, backpacking, hunting, if you do any of those things. But we actually use them for travel also because it's handy to have this in the hotel room to be able to make these and not have to order in or go out. It saves us a ton of money and it saves us time. These are also a really great thing because they're on clearance and they're pretty inexpensive. If you are placing an order and you're under the $100 or $99, whatever it is for free shipping, then you can throw a few clearance items in, get a good deal, and get free shipping. So these are a couple other clearance items also that we just threw in. So there's a whistle. It's like less than $1. This is an emergency whistle, which are good to have, lots of them in different places. And then this is a Fresnel lens. I think that's how you say it. So it's like a magnifying lens. It's in a little sleeve here. And this could be used for lighting fires and things like that. All kinds of things that these are good for. And it can slip right into your wallet, your pocket, your backpack, anywhere. Next thing, I've got this phone charger thing. Now this was actually a 2-pack. So one of them I've already brought to my car because I had one of these in my car. I gave it to my daughter for a trip that she took and she never gave it back to me because she liked it. This is retractable. So you can just pull on both ends and it comes out longer. I like that for my car because when we're not using it, it's not just hanging all over the place like the chargers usually are. But this one, I have a retractable charger that's just for my phone. So it has this end and it has just one end here. I like that just for my phone because it's a little less bulky because it doesn't have all these extra things. But this one is so multi-purpose. So I have this one in there also because it can charge anything. So it could charge any of my kids' phones, or if I have someone else riding with me, anybody in the car with me, no matter what type of phone or device they have, there's going to be a tip here for charging it. And it also has the option of either the USB-C or the regular USB for plugging in. So I really, really like to have one of these in my car. And I also like to have one just in my kind of gear kit because you never know what you're going to have to charge. It could be flashlights, it could be headlamps, it could be radios, it could be, any number of things. And this will do just about all of them. And it does go really quickly, especially if you're using the USB-C end. It charges really quickly. I've got a few more freeze-dried items here from different places. And this is kind of a good place to take a look at why the different reasons you might use freeze-dried food. Now, of course, obviously, you can cook with it. You can make your meals with it. You can use it just like the regular fresh food. So if you are in an emergency, can't get to the grocery store, you've got your freeze-dried food, you can cook whatever you want with it, just like with normal ingredients. I also use it for meals in a jar. So I have the ingredients. Every single ingredient is dry. It goes in the jar. It could be the meat, the vegetables, the dairy, the sauce, the seasonings, everything goes in. Pasta, whatever you have, any meal you want. And then all you have to do is add water, and you have your own emergency meal that you made with your own ingredients, and you can control what's in it, which is amazing. And then the other reason that people use freeze-dried food is for snacking. So some of these items here are things that I typically snack on more than cook with. So I've got these cheddar cheese cubes. I absolutely love having cheddar cheese cubes to snack on. They're a really good high protein, low carb snack. So this is regular cheddar, and then there is this jalapeno infused cheddar, which actually, now that I've tried this one, I like it even better than the regular. It doesn't taste spicy to me at all. You just have that jalapeno flavor, and it's really, really good. I actually have these little snack packs that I keep in my purse at all times usually, so I always have a snack with me no matter where I am. And these are like my little low-carb snacky snacks, and I usually have 2 sweets and 2 salties. So these are the cheese cubes right here. These are actually some of the jalapeno ones. Love these. Just a few is a good snack. And then I just have some protein puffs. I have my keto chocolate covered almonds, which I love. And then this was my nut clusters, and they're all gone. I need to replace and refill that. But some other items that we tend to snack on a lot, there's this dragon fruit, which is really good. And if you throw this in smoothies, it gives it the most amazing, brilliant pink color. Banana slices, my kids absolutely adore the banana slices, eat them up. And the strawberries, they like those even more. So they go through a lot of this. And I would so much rather have them snacking on just fruit. That's the one thing to notice about basically the freeze-dried food, is that like it's very clean ingredients. So these are non-GMO, and you will see the ingredients is just strawberries, no additives or preservatives. Corn, just corn. And actually the corn is GMO free too, which that's kind of difficult to find. Most corn in the United States is GMO, unfortunately. So this one is actually non-GMO. But you can see on these as well, ingredients, strawberries. Ingredients, dragon fruit. So whether you're cooking with them or snacking on them, and they are really, really great foods to have. There's also coconut. This is amazing. It's delicious. One of our favorite snacks, freeze-dried figs. These are good. I actually got a whole bunch of these. I just only put one of each up here. Broccoli. Now this is where I use these in recipes. So I use them in meals in a jar. And I actually bought these little bags, are perfect for meals in a bag. A meal in a bag is all shelf-stable ingredients, cans, boxes, pouches, and they are all together in one bag with a recipe. Grab one bag, and you have everything you need to make a meal. They're amazing. So I did a broccoli cheddar chicken and dumplings last week that I used one of these bags of broccoli in. A lot of people will use cauliflower in place of potatoes and pasta in recipes if they're eating low carb. So these are really, really great. And like I mentioned, I got a whole box with all sorts of different ones. I just put one of each up on the table because of space. Another thing you can do to make sure you're always up on the freeze-dried food sales and coupons is visit tryfreezedried.com. If you are not able to go down to the description, go to tryfreezedried.com and you will find links directly to this stuff with coupon codes as well if there are any available. Now here I've got a canning funnel set with a strainer, and this, when I found this is going to be a game changer for me. I love wire mesh strainers. I use them a lot, but this one is a set that the strainer fits right into. It is made to fit into the funnel, and it comes with 2 funnels. There's a funnel for regular mouth, and then underneath is a funnel specifically for wide mouth. So you've got the 2 funnels and the strainer that sets right inside of it. So not only for draining and straining things, but I often am pushing like berries through so that you get the little seeds out of the berries. I also use these to sift out powdered freeze-dried fruits. So many different things. So this is a nice heavy duty metal set that is going to be so awesome. I will have a link down below and a discount code for you if you're looking at something like this. I actually have discount codes for a lot of different things, so make sure you go down to the description and see what I've got down there for you. This is from the 4 Jars brand, and they actually, so another thing I got is some canning lids. So they actually make really good canning lids. I have other things that they've made, so they make really good stuff. So I got a couple of packs. I got wide mouth and regular mouth, and these are 100 packs of lids because you can never have too many canning lids. Next, I've got my shop club order for this month. This is not everything I got. This is just the stuff that's kind of more related to our prepper pantry, because I also had some cosmetic items and different things like that in there. So I got 2 bags of our favorite coffee. This specific blend is our favorite. This is really good coffee. This is always tested to be mold free. So it's really, really good coffee. This kind of got us broken off of the Keurig. We still use our machine. We just use a refillable little cup for these. I got a 2-pack. You'll notice a theme here. Everything is usually in a 2-pack, and that's just because they have extra savings on 2-packs. So things that we use regularly, it just makes sense for me to stock up on double at a time. It also helps us get extra supply. We always want to make sure we have extra, so in case of emergency when we can't get things from the store or get things delivered, because these get delivered. So Activate Immune, this is a really, really good immune health thing. It's got all of the things that you need for a really good immune support supplement. And it has the oligo technology, which means that this has been proven to have the minerals be absorbed by your body instead of most of the minerals that you take in supplement form. Most of them are going to go right through your body. So these are not. These are going to be absorbed. Next, I got 2 packs again of these hand sanitizer wipes. We just actually, I didn't even really realize they had these. These were not on my radar. We got some given to us at an event, and it was really, I really fell in love with them. I just love having the little single serve packet, because sometimes I don't have, if I'm just taking a very small bag, or I just have, my jacket pockets or something, I don't have room for a whole bottle of hand sanitizer, so I can have a wipe or 2. These ones have tea tree oil in them, which we know is amazing. So these are really, really awesome. I have got our FiberWise. Now this is something, it's a fiber supplement. It is completely amazing. It is totally a game changer for your gut health and all of that. We both take this, Mr. Wicked Prepared and I. He takes the berry, this sugar-free berry, and I take the plain unflavored. But these are actually little packets. So these are travel packets, because we just take it out of the canister normally when we're at home. And our last trip we took, Mr. Wicked Prepared did put some into a container, I think, or a baggie. I can't remember what he used. He brought some of his with him. I didn't have time to pack my stuff like I should have, so I didn't bring mine. And I definitely regretted it, because my body really needs this, and travel does weird things to me anyways. When we travel, you definitely don't need to hear about my bathroom habits, but it messes me up when we travel. So not having the supplements that we needed. So I got these packets so that we'll always be able to take them, with us when we travel. Something that we really, really need to have every day. And then I got, these are a snack that is like a new thing. Actually, they only had these for this month. This is something that was a limited time, and I had to try them. I love these Simply Fit nut clusters. Usually they're like a little bit of a sweet snack. They're not super sweet. And I absolutely love them. And this was a new flavor they came out with just for the month of February, spicy dill pickle. And I do love dill pickle flavored everything. So of course I had to try these while I could. So if they're really good, I'm probably going to be sad because I won't be able to get more. My favorite flavor ever that they came out of these was cinnamon pecan, and they only had them for 1 month last fall. And I just ran out of them, and I'm really, really sad about that. But these do have just really, really clean ingredients, and they're fairly low carb. These have a little bit more carbs because of these rice pearls that they have, I think. They're a little bit higher in carbs than the other ones, but they've got protein, they've got fairly low carbs, they've got really, really clean ingredients, and they're delicious. But like these are the ones I usually eat, the mango coconut, the blueberry vanilla, same deal, very clean ingredients, fairly low in carbs, and I love them. Because snack foods are very important to have in your prepper pantry. That is one thing we hear more often than anything else, really, is people wish they had more snacks after they live through something where they have to eat out of their prepper pantry. And then the final item I have up here from the Shop Club is this GC Control Shake, which both Mr. Wicked Prepared and I take. This has really been a game changer for us in our health, and it's finally something that's helping me lose some weight. I used to treat this as like a regular protein shake, and then when Mr. Wicked Prepared started taking it, he actually read the instructions that came with it and told me how he took it and how it was helping him. And so I completely changed how I was using it, because I was using it as like a meal replacement protein type of shake. And what it's actually designed to is to have a shake right before you have a meal, because it only has 100 calories and it has 10 grams of fiber and then only 2 grams of net carbs. So it's low carb, so it's good for me. And it helps control your blood sugar. And for me, that really, really cuts down on my cravings. It allows me to, I have one of these right before my lunch, and then I don't feel hungry the rest of the day. I'm not constantly like thinking about snacking like I typically would be. Mr. Wicked Prepared prefers the strawberry. I like the cinnamon roll, or there's one more flavor that I have. And for him, it helps him avoid like that afternoon crash after he eats. And it's really, really been helping both of us. But we really want to make sure in your prepper pantry that you have any of those supplements, medicines, like dietary things, anything that you typically use that helps you feel good and feel better, because you don't want to be in an emergency. Like, would you die without it? Probably not, depending on what it is. Some medications, yes, you might, but you're going to be in an already stressful and already uncomfortable situation. You definitely don't want to add having your body feel worse or perform worse on top of what you're already going through. So anything that you typically take to keep your body functioning well and feeling well is something you want to make sure you have extra in your prepper pantry, so you're not stuck without it ever. And for us, these shakes and these supplements are definitely a part of our everyday must-haves. And coffee. I am not going a day without coffee for sure. Next, I've got a few dehydrated items. So I've got this banana powder. So this is just pure bananas that have been powdered up. So I will probably use this in like banana bread mixes, meal, sort of in a jar, things like that. I have debated whether I should just powder my own bananas or buy the powder, because the powder is kind of expensive. But if you think about it, if you've ever powdered freeze-dried food, you know how much it compacts down. You can start with a half a cup of fruit and end up with maybe a tablespoon of powder. So I know how many bananas went into this. I mean, I don't know, but I know that it's a lot, that it's basically worth the cost is what I'm saying. So I did break down and buy a canister of the powder. I've also got some beets here. So these are organic beet dices, and these are dehydrated, not freeze-dried. It is harder to find freeze-dried beets. I think I may have one source, but it's harder to find. And so I thought for recipes, like I love to do soups in a jar, like soup mixes. So I thought to be able to do like a borscht soup mix would be really cool to have beets. And I'm not sure what else I would use them in. Maybe like a Harvard beet side dish or something like that. What kind of dishes do you use beets in? And then this is a dehydrated cabbage. So I love cabbage. I use it a ton in my cooking. I have never found freeze-dried cabbage. I could freeze dry my own, but I have never gotten around to that. And, you know, there's a lot of other reasons why we haven't done that. But so I get this dehydrated cabbage to use in meals in a jar. It's also just good to have freeze-dried and dehydrated ingredients on hand, because if you happen to be out of something and you can't get to the store, even if it's not an emergency, sometimes we just can't get to the store, you have something that you can reach for at any time to throw in, and it doesn't throw you off when you're cooking. Next, I've got a few pet items. We always need to make sure we prep for our pets as well. So this is freeze-dried pet food. We don't feed our pets exclusively freeze-dried. I wish we could, but we have got 6 dogs. 2 of them are big huskies. We just couldn't feed them all 100% freeze-dried food. So we use this as a topper and sort of a nutritious add-on to their food. But I also make sure that I keep plenty on hand, because dry dog food kibble does not store long-term. You really can't store extra very much, other than a few months, because it goes rancid very easily. And so canned and freeze-dried are what's going to be your go-tos to store food for your pets, which we definitely want to do. We want to make sure not only are we going to be fed, but our fur babies are going to be fed too. But the other thing with the freeze-dried food is that it is very light. I don't have to worry about refrigeration or any of that. And both cats and dogs can eat this. And so we have 4 cats, 6 dogs. If we had to evacuate with our pets, I know I could grab just this food and have what we needed for all of our pets without having to worry about cans, refrigeration, anything like that. This is very, very, very nutritious, and it's very versatile. It is a raw food, which is really good for our pets. But if you do not want to feed raw, this could be cooked just the same as, or even just poured boiling water over it. and it would be a cooked food. This can be ground into powder and mixed with liquid if your cat doesn't want to eat the chunk. Like, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. It's very, very versatile. And these are actually 2 brand new flavors that just came out. So we've had chicken, turkey, and beef. They now have this pork. And this one I'm really, really excited about because our pets love salmon. So they've got this salmon and beef recipe. So I'm very excited about that. And then I also got this Immunoshroom, which is an immunity supplement that has mushrooms and all sorts of ingredients that are great for their immune function. It's good for lipomas and stuff, which our pets struggle with. But this is an awesome supplement that we use, and they had a deal going on where if you bought 2 bags of the freeze-dried food, you got the Immunoshroom for free. Now that deal ended at the end of February, but there is a free pet quiz you can take that I will put a link to down below. And if you take that quiz, make sure you see my name on the page when you're doing it, and then it will add you onto the mailing list, and you will find out anytime there are deals and coupons and things like that. And then one more pet item, we do have guinea pigs. And so this is just vitamin C's for our guinea pigs. Guinea pigs and humans are like the 2 beings that can't create their own vitamin C. So we need to supplement with it. So I need to make sure that we have plenty of these on hand, so we'll always have healthy piggies. Next, I've got a few bags of these, which I showed you earlier in my snack pack. These are keto chocolate covered almonds, dark chocolate covered. These are one of my favorite sweet treats. I don't even like sweets that much, but I love these. And I will buy these like 20 bags at a time and just keep them stocked up, partly so I can get free shipping and get a deal with the coupon, but partly so that I don't ever run out of them. Now, they're kind of expensive for what they are, but it says a serving is 14 pieces, and I never eat 14 pieces. I eat like 3 or 4 at a time only. So it lasts me a lot longer than it should. And I usually can find a 20% off coupon, which makes the place I get these to be the cheapest source out there. So I will put a link down below, and if there is a current coupon, I will put the coupon with it, the coupon code with it. So if you want to get these or anything else from that store, they've got a whole bunch of good natural foods, and they have really good prices. I've got a few jars of the hazelnut spread, which is like Walmart's version of Nutella, because my kids love that stuff. Definitely don't want to run out of that. I mean, they could just be happy putting this on graham crackers or anything that would keep them happy and fed, and no power required to spread some hazelnut spread on some crackers. And now I've got some ramen things that are either new or I had a really good deal. So these cup noodles stir fry, these are not new, but these, I've never seen these flavors before, and these were, and I bought a deal. So I got a good deal on these. They're an easy thing to have. You could just pour boiling water in. They're not the healthiest, but these at least have a little bit of a more unique flavor. And if you are in an emergency, you just need something quick and comforting, a little bit of boiling water, and you've got yourself a warm, cozy soup. And then these, I don't think these are new, but I think they did new packaging and maybe new flavors. So these are noodle bowls, and these are actually not dry noodles like a ramen. They're basically a cooked noodle that you just have to put a little bit of water in. These are meant for the microwave, but they can be cooked in a pan if you are in an emergency and you don't have electricity for your microwave. And they make a nice single serve, unique kind of meal. So there's teriyaki, sweet chili, shoyu ramen. I don't know what that really means, but pad thai, which I love, and yakisoba, which I don't really know what that is either, but they all sounded and looked really good. And these were another, I bought a deal and they were basically half price because they're about $3 a piece, like $2.99, I think. And the rebate was for $1.49 or $1.50. So I got them. Plus there was bonuses going on where if you did, I do 10 rebates, I get $5 extra. So that's an extra 50 cents per item. So that was a really good deal. And this is something that my kids would eat just on a regular everyday basis, and they'd be decent to have in an emergency. Now I've got my Azure standard order. There's a lot of different places you'll see that we usually place an order with about once a month. Just monthly ordering is kind of a really good way to keep yourself stocked up and make sure that you're getting ahead on your pantry. So from Azure, I got a bunch of canning jars. They have their own brand of canning jars now, which are really, really nice jars. And they're beautiful, they're strong, they come with superb lids, and I absolutely love them. The printing on them is not raised, it doesn't bump out, so it doesn't mess up your labels. They're just amazing jars. So I got 2 boxes of half-gallon size. I've got another box over there. And then I got 2 boxes of wide mouth half pints, which is a new size that they just came out with. So these are the short, wide 1-cup jars. And like I said, their jars are absolutely amazing. Another thing about their jars is you can get them with or without lids, depending on if you need lids or not. And they're cheaper without the lids, of course. So I sometimes get them with lids and sometimes get them without lids, depending. I also got these from Azure Standard. These are pretty awesome. So I've got some flip caps for mason jars. So these can go on the mason jars and give it a flip cap if you're storing something in it that you want to be able to get out. And then I got these screens. It comes with different sizes and different size holes to make a shaker insert. So you would put this inside of the flip top cap, or you could just use it inside of a ring if you didn't need it to be covered, but I would want it to be covered. So these allow you to put different spices like powdered sugar, cocoa powder, Parmesan cheese, anything that you would, any kind of powders that you would want to shake. So I think these are really awesome. Like I said, I got these from Azure Standard. Azure Standard is fantastic. If you haven't been shopping there, go check it out. I'm going to put a link down below. Follow that link and create an account. And they actually have a referral program where you can earn free credit if you refer anybody to shop. So that's something that's really awesome when a store offers that, to be able to earn just by sharing. But I know that not everybody can shop at Azure Standard. I know that sometimes you don't have a drop near you or it's just not available in your area. It didn't used to be available for me. So I think I have another source for these. I have another source with a ton of really, really amazing mason jar accessories. I'll put that down below in the description as well, in case you can't shop Azure or you don't shop Azure and you just want to check out the mason jar accessories. I think I might have a coupon code for that also, and if I do, I will put that down there. Now I've got some more grocery stuff. I've got this was just a La Choy brand soy sauce, teriyaki sauce, which I had never seen that before. I've seen other brands of teriyaki sauce, so we wanted to try that one. I do make my own teriyaki sauce a lot of the time, but sometimes we just want a bottle for different things. These are the already ready rices, so it's already cooked and just needs to be microwaved. But the good thing about these is if it is an emergency, you can heat them in a pan, but they don't need any water and they don't need a lot of fuel to actually cook because they're all cooked. They just need heated. You could even eat them without heating, I guess, but this is a lemon, garlic, and herb, and this was a deal on Ibotta also. It was a really good deal. So, and you could get 5 of them. So I ordered 5 of them. Well, when my package came, it was 1 of these and 4 of these, which was not what I ordered. Not that it's not good, but I already have a whole box of this flavor in my pantry. So I really wanted this a new flavor that I'd never tried before. But the good news is I went through the website. They refunded my money on the 4 and they said no need to return them. So I basically got 4 free bags of rice, which is pretty nice, but I still want a few more of this flavor. Next are some clearance deals that I got. So I found these on the clearance rack. $3.50 there is not that cheap, but it's cheaper than they were. These are meat. So this is pork and it's all cooked and it's not freeze dried. It's just, it's in a sauce and it's ready to go. So you could put this on tacos. You could put this over rice. Actually, this would be really good to put over rice. This would be a complete meal all ready to go that you just need to heat up right here. So we do like these and we do use these. They can also be good for camping and travel. So I did grab a few. I kind of grabbed 1 or 2 every time I went by the rack because nobody's buying them. They just still had them. And then I found this drink mix, which I love, horchata. I don't use a lot of drink mixes usually, but for preparedness purposes, it's always good to have something you can flavor your water with. Even if you like drinking plain water, which I do, sometimes you might have a little bit of an off flavor in the water if it's been stored in plastic, if it's been treated with anything. It might have an off flavor a little bit that you might want to mask and cover up. And some people do get sick of drinking plain water, so you got to make sure people are going to keep drinking. So this was a really good deal to find this for $1.50. Oh, I forgot about these down here, nail clippers. I got a bunch of these. Actually, I got more than this, and I feel like they've already disappeared. This is one of those things that I keep buying, and they always disappear. And I feel like someday I'm going to go under my couch or under my car seat or something and find like 700 nail clippers, but they always disappear. So I'm always buying more. But I think this is a good, like you always want to have a nail clipper, whether it's for your nails or whether it's for snipping anything or cutting anything. It's a good little tool to always have with you. But then I got all of these. So I've got like 2 cases of these chicken Vienna sausages. My store had stacks and stacks and stacks of these, and they were marked down to 30 cents. So I grabbed like a few. I grabbed a flat that was partially full the first time, and I brought them home and I tried one because I don't know if I'd ever tried these Vienna sausages, although this is the brand. I think that they used to sell them in a pouch, which I wish they still did, but I don't think they do anymore. A pouch kind of like this. But I tried them. They were good. I really looked at the price and really thought about the price and decided that it was a really, really good deal. So the next time I was in the store, they still had a ton of them. So I picked up another flat of them. So I've got a lot of these. Protein is always good to have in the prepper pantry. This is an easy, it's not the healthiest, but it's an easy snack, and it's a single serving size. So you got to also think about if there's an emergency and there's no power and no refrigeration, you're not going to want to be opening things that you would have to refrigerate part of it. So having something that you can eat in one sitting can be really important. So, and I like these. My kids like these. Like, they're a good low carb protein snack for me. I can even just take them in the car and have them anytime that I want. So this is something that we use. It's not, don't ever buy stuff that you wouldn't use just to store for prepping purposes. Buy things that you will use. But I was really excited to find this deal. And then I found these and I was pretty excited about this too. So you may remember, I actually showed these in one of my hauls a few months ago. It is the jalapeno flavored evaporated milk. I thought it was a joke. I found it in the store, so I bought it to try it. It wasn't bad. I tried this recipe that comes on the can, or it links to it on the can. It's a mac and cheese recipe, and it was actually really good. And with that much extra food, you really couldn't, it wasn't that spicy. It wasn't really barely spicy at all. You could barely tell it was jalapeno. So in a savory recipe like this, I think this is good. I did make a chowder that was a smaller batch, and so there was less other food with the milk, and that was pretty spicy. Like, we couldn't finish it here. I tried to give it to my brother, who is less of a weenie. He even had a hard time with it. So depending on how you use this, it can be spicy, but if you use it in something like this, it's not that bad. So I'm assuming they're not going to sell it anymore. I'm assuming it was a limited time item and they're probably getting rid of it, unless it's just my store. But finding it for 41 cents from $1.72, I thought that was a great deal, since it is something that I would use in, a recipe like this. So I bought several cans. And next I got these Kraft mac and cheese. So this is garlic parmesan flavored. Kraft has been coming out with these limited edition different flavors. They've had all kinds of them, and I have tried as many as I could find, because I definitely have like a childhood fond memories of Kraft mac and cheese. I still like it, even though I really don't eat it because I shouldn't. But I have been enjoying trying the different flavors that we found. So this is the newest one that I found that I thought would be interesting to try. It sounds good. And then this is something new that I found, Aunt Nellie's diced pickled beets, but they are in little cups. So people love these little cups with veggies, because if you're a smaller household or if you need a single serving, they're great. So I thought with the pickled beets, like, I loved pickled beets, but that's not necessarily something you're going to eat a whole can of if nobody else in your house likes them. Or even if people in your house do like them, like, we put them on salads and stuff. And so a whole can is not necessarily going to get eaten all the time. So a smaller container I thought was great. I like that they're diced, because that is good for salads. In a can, they usually come in slices, I think. So you have to cut them into strips or dices yourself. So this is going to be easier. And for emergencies, like, you really do need to think about, just like I mentioned with the Vienna sausages, like, how much are you going to eat and how much are you going to have to refrigerate? You don't want to have to refrigerate. So smaller containers can be good. Now, a cup like this is not going to have as long a shelf life as a can, of course. And you do have to be more careful with these cups. They're not as sturdy as a can. So you can, toss a can around and treat it pretty badly, and you're probably not going to break the seal. These are a little bit different. You do need to be careful with them, because it would be easier to break the seal and have them go bad. So, expect to rotate them every year or two, and just expect to store them a little more carefully. But I do think they're a great option, especially for smaller households. And then up here, of course, I've got some pasta. I think pasta is like one of the best things for the prepper pantry because it's inexpensive. Everybody likes it. You can serve it a million different ways. You can make so many different meals depending on the sauces and the seasonings and, you know, what you put with it. So, and there's lots of different shapes of pasta, which are fun. So this is a couple shapes, this radiatore. This is like the radiator shaped pasta. Walmart used to have a Great Value brand of this, and I used to buy it all the time, and they stopped carrying the Great Value brand as far as I know. And they had their Better Goods brand, but it was much more expensive. So when I found this is Hannaford, which is kind of our local grocery store chain around here. So it is their store brand. So it is cheaper. It's the cheapest one I could get. So when I saw that they had that, I bought a bunch because I do like to use this pasta for certain dishes. And then of course the jumbo shells, this is just Great Value. You can make, so my kids love classic stuffed shells with the ricotta filling, but you can do taco stuffed shells. You can do, you know, Philly cheesesteak stuffed shells. There's so many different recipes and we love it. So I bought a bunch of boxes of this because I was running low. And then this one was just something kind of fun that I found that was just interesting. Organic purple rice noodles. So they're purple. And I just thought that would be really cool. The kids might like to make ramen cups with that. I just thought it was kind of neat. So I wanted to try it. I'm assuming they're gluten-free, but I do, because they're made with rice. I do not see that anywhere on it. It doesn't say gluten-free. I'm assuming they are, but I just thought that was really cool. Purple rice noodles, something different. And now I would love you to hang out with me just a little bit longer while I try some of these new items and let you know what I think of them. The first thing I've got to try is these spicy dill pickle nut clusters. I have got to see how these are. All right, I'm trying them. So here's what they look like. They're mostly in little cubes. Of course, sometimes they break, but all right, let's see. That's good. That's pretty good. It's not super spicy, a little spicy, pretty tangy. I feel like there's still a little teeny bit of sweetness, which it does still have the organic brown rice syrup. So I guess that's probably a little bit sweet, and that's probably what holds it together. So it's a little teeny bit of sweetness, a little teeny bit of spicy, and pickly. It's pretty good. I still like the cinnamon pecan ones better, but these are not bad. These will be a good, more savory snack for me. And next, I've got to try the garlic parmesan mac and cheese. So I'm going to cook this up and try it for you. All right, so here it is. This is the garlic parmesan mac and cheese. This actually smells really good and looks really good. We have had some hits and some misses with these limited edition mac and cheeses. Some of them have been pretty good. Some of them have been not so good. So I have high hopes for this one. It's not bad, but it's not as flavorful as it smelled like it was going to be. That's pretty good. I guess a little bit of extra seasoning could be added. It's definitely not bad. It's just, I thought it was going to have more flavor. Decent, but not super exciting. The next thing I'm going to try are these noodle bowls. Now this is the pad thai. I'm going to try the pad thai. I noticed on the back, it gives the microwave instructions, which isn't very emergency friendly. It does give no microwave instructions, and it says to pour boiling water over the noodles, let them stand, and then drain them, because these are like already cooked noodles. So I could try that, or I was thinking of doing it on my emergency stove with a little pan just to kind of really heat it. So maybe I'll try one of each with 2 different flavors. All right, so here are the noodles. You can see they are like soft cooked noodles. They're not hard, crispy like ramen. We've got topping that's got cabbage, bok choy, carrots, green onions, sesame seeds, a peanut topping, and our sauce. There is a water line in the bowl, which is for microwaving, but I'm going to use that to measure the water for my pan. I am going to need a lid I can use on the pan to keep the steam in, I think. So the amount of water is very little. I'm going to put that in there. It's probably like a couple of tablespoons. And then it wants the veggie toppings and the noodles in there. So there's our veggie toppings, very nice. Now this would be a good use for that dehydrated cabbage that I had earlier, to put it in like a ramen cup if you make your own ramen cups or something like that, or noodle soup cups, like a meal in a jar. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add in the noodles. See, I am going to just show you. See, they are cooked and soft. They're just a little dry. So we got that. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm kind of winging it here because I'm not really following their instructions. I'm just kind of making up my own. But I'm really just trying to heat this up and get this liquid absorbed into the noodles is all we have to do. It's all cooked. See, it's already starting to steam, so I really just need to heat these noodles and get them kind of moisturized back up. Now, the microwave instructions say to do it without the lid, but I do want this to steam a little bit before I go ahead and take the lid off and let it dry up. All right, so the noodles are moist. The liquid is dried up. I'm going to put the heat off, so this is going really quickly. I don't want to burn it. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the sauce. All right, so I've got my sauce in here. I don't even think I'm going to have to put this back on the heat. It's still pretty hot. I'm just mixing the sauce around with the noodles and the veggies. All right, so look at this. Look at these noodles. This smells amazing. It's hot. It's ready to go. I didn't even really have to use the stove. I could have done this with boiling water, but if I'm going to use the stove to boil the water in an emergency, to me, I would rather just do it this way. I think the results would be better than pouring the boiling water over the noodles and then draining it. Plus, we didn't waste any water. The water pretty much just absorbed into the food. I'm going to go ahead and get this into a bowl and get my peanut topping on and give it a try. Of course, something I did not think of in an emergency, if you do it with the boiling water, you do it right in the plastic bowl, you're not going to have the dirty dishes, because if you boil water in a pot, it's going to be still clean. I have this dirty dish now. And I have this dirty dish. I could have eaten it out of the pan, but I do now see the beauty in just doing it with boiling water right here in this plastic bowl that it comes with. All right, so my peanuts, love the nut topping, but it is nice that it's separate. So if somebody does not like nuts on their noodles, they don't have to add this. This makes it for me though. Look at that. All right, I'm going to try this. I cannot wait. It smells amazing. It looks amazing. I hope this one is as good as it smells. Oh yeah, these are good. These are delicious. This is a winner and such a good deal. If you don't have Ibotta, I'm going to have a link down in the description that you can go download it, because this was half price with the rebate. Super, super easy to use at Walmart. This is where I did that. These are really, really good. It was super easy to make without electricity. And a really good just single meal. In fact, usually I would take a couple bites and give you my report and take the rest of it down to Mr. Wicked Prepared, so I don't have to eat all the carbs, but I think this one is going in my belly. We are always your source for prepping tips, kits, stockpile guides, and shelf-stable meal recipes. So double check down below and make sure you're subscribed. We've got a lot more content coming at you that you don't want to miss. Don't forget to check out shopabetterway.com and tryfreezedried.com. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me a fire emoji down in the comments and check out this video next for some more tips you need right now. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.